This may look like an ordinary pen and a blank page, but it holds the power to reshape your entire life. When you pick up that pen and write down what you truly desire, you are not just making notes. You are sending out instructions to the universe. Most people don't realize this. They think manifestation is about thinking hard, working hard, or waiting long. But the truth is, there is something deeply spiritual and powerful about the act of writing. It's one of the most sacred tools you've been given, yet many people never use it the right way. Think of it like this. Your thoughts are like energy waves, fast, invisible, and constantly moving. But when you write, those energy waves slow down. They become focused. They take form. And once something takes form, it begins to shape your reality. That's why writing is not just a habit. It's a form of spiritual alignment. It's like whispering your heart's truth into the fabric of the universe. What you write becomes a mirror, a blueprint, a vibration. And the universe, like a wise and attentive listener, begins to reflect it back to you in the form of events, opportunities, and people. But here's the catch. Most people write down what they fear, what they lack, or what they're trying to run from. And so the universe simply gives them more of that. That's why this video is so important. Because you're going to learn what to write, how to write, and why writing could be the most life-changing thing you do. There is no complicated trick, no expensive course, just your words, your energy, and the divine law of creation. The moment you shift from randomly writing to consciously writing, your entire world begins to shift. In this journey, you'll discover that your notebook is more than paper. It's your sacred ground of creation. And what you write here echoes out into forever. Let's be honest. How many times have you dreamed about something but felt like it was just floating in the air? You wanted love, but only found loneliness. You wanted money, but always ended up with more bills. You hoped for peace, but kept waking up with anxiety. The truth is, when your desires stay locked in your mind, they never get a clear direction. They swirl around with your doubts, fears, and past pain. And the universe receives a messy signal. That's the danger of not writing. When you don't put your desires into words, your energy stays unfocused. Imagine trying to tune into a radio station, but the signal keeps cutting out. That's how your message sounds to the universe when it's only in your head. The universe is not ignoring you. It's simply waiting for clarity. And writing gives you that clarity. Without writing, you become a prisoner to your feelings. One day you're excited, the next day you're full of doubt. One day you believe in miracles, the next day you convince yourself nothing will ever change. This emotional roller coaster is why so many people try to manifest for years and never see results. Not because the universe is punishing them, but because their message keeps changing. Their identity keeps shifting. Their energy keeps collapsing under pressure. When you don't write what you want, your focus gets hijacked by what you don't want. You start journaling your frustrations. You think about what's missing. You talk about the problems. And little by little, you start feeding those problems with even more power. The universe listens to all of it. It doesn't judge, it simply reflects. That's the law. So if you're always speaking and thinking about struggle, the mirror of life will reflect more struggle. But when you write with clarity, intention, and belief, something changes. You stop being a victim of your day. You stop reacting to everything, and you start creating. Writing makes you a creator, not just of goals or dreams, but of energy, of vibration, of reality. You become the one who shapes what comes next. That's why this isn't just a nice exercise. It's serious. If you don't get your inner world in order through writing, your outer world will always feel like chaos. You'll keep jumping from one idea to another, wondering why nothing sticks. It's not because you're broken. It's because you haven't yet harnessed the most powerful spiritual tool you own, your written word. So the stakes are high. Writing is not optional. It's the difference between living life on purpose or by accident. It's the bridge between who you are and who you're meant to be. If you don't write it, you won't create it. That's the truth. Your writing is a reflection of what you believe deep down. It shows your hopes, your fears, your self-image, and your vision of the world, all in ink. That's why every time you write, you're not just filling up a page. You're looking into your own soul. You're holding up a mirror. Think about the last time you wrote something down about your life. What did you say? Were you focused on what's missing? Were you writing about your disappointments? Did you make a list of what's going wrong? If so, that's not wrong, but it is a clue. A clue about the story you've been repeating to yourself. And the story you repeat becomes the life you live. You may not realize it, but when you write from a place of lack, the universe feels it. When you write from a place of frustration, the universe hears it. And because it responds to the content of your beliefs, not just your words, it brings you more of what matches those feelings. That's why some people write affirmations every day, but still don't see any change. It's not about the words on the page. It's about the energy behind those words. When you begin writing from the heart, with love and faith, something shifts. The page starts to become a sacred space. It's not just a journal anymore. It's a conversation with the universe. Every sentence you write becomes a signal, a vibration, a seed, and that seed grows into the future version of your life. You might be wondering, but what if I don't know what to write? Start with the truth. Write how you feel. Then write how you want to feel. Write where you are. Then write where you want to be. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to be real. And from that place of truth, you can begin to shape a new identity, one that attracts, not one that chases. Try this. Write down the sentence, "This is who I am becoming." Then describe that version of yourself in detail, not with fear, but with love, not with confusion, but with clarity. Imagine that you're already that person, and write from that place. Who are you? What do you believe? What do you do? How do you feel every morning when you wake up? This is how you use writing as a spiritual tool, not to complain about what's broken, but to declare what's being healed. Not to list what's missing, but to claim what's arriving. You are not here to beg the universe. You are here to align with it. And your written word is your alignment. It's your message. It's your reflection. So write often. Write deeply. Write honestly. The more you do, the more you'll see your soul in those words. And slowly, the world around you will begin to change. Not because of magic tricks, but because you've finally shown the universe the version of yourself it's been waiting to meet. Before you write down the things you want in life, like a dream home, financial freedom, love, or peace, you must first write who you are becoming. This is the most important part that most people forget. You see, the universe does not just respond to what you want. It responds to who you are. That's why identity always comes before manifestation. If you write, "I want to be rich," but deep down you feel poor, confused, or not worthy, the universe picks up on that energy. And instead of giving you wealth, it sends you more situations that reflect your current identity. That's how the mirror of reality works. It doesn't respond to begging. It responds to being. So ask yourself, who am I choosing to be? Not just what do I want, but what kind of person lives that kind of life? What does that version of you believe about money, love, health, success, or joy? When you write your identity first, you build the foundation. You align your energy with the life you desire. And that alignment makes you magnetic. Start simple. Write statements like, "I am confident in who I am. I am a person who attracts miracles. I am worthy of abundance and love. I am someone the universe trusts." Don't write these because you believe them already. Write them because you are choosing to believe them. You're planting seeds. The more you write your identity in this new, empowered way, the more natural it becomes. And the more natural it becomes, the more your outer world begins to match it. This is the inner work that changes everything. Writing your identity first tells the universe, "This is who I am now. I'm no longer living in fear or survival. I'm no longer playing small. I've stepped into the person I was born to be." That declaration sends a powerful vibration, and the universe can't help but echo it back. So every time you sit down to write, begin with your identity. Even if it feels fake at first, keep writing. Even if doubt whispers in your ear, write louder. Because you are not repeating empty words. You are reshaping your self-image. You are creating a new frequency. And that frequency becomes your future. Now that your identity is becoming clearer, it's time to describe the reality you wish to live. This is where the magic deepens. Don't just write what you want. Paint it with words. Make it real. Let the page become your canvas and your pen the brush. Close your eyes and imagine your dream life as if it already exists. Then open your eyes and start writing from that place. What does a day in your life look like? What do you see when you wake up? Who are you surrounded by? What kind of work do you do? How do you feel as you move through your day? Write it all in the present tense. This is important. Don't say, "One day I will." Instead say, "I am," and "I have," and "I feel." This sends a signal that you are no longer chasing the future. You are claiming it now. For example, I wake up each morning feeling calm and fulfilled. I live in a home that brings me peace and joy. I am doing meaningful work that helps others and fills my soul. I feel loved, supported, and deeply connected to life. The more specific you are, the more powerful the vibration. If your dream includes travel, write about the places you visit. If it includes financial freedom, describe how you use that money and how it makes you feel. If you desire a loving relationship, write about the way that love flows between you and the other person. This practice is not fantasy, it's spiritual alignment. It's you becoming familiar with a future that already exists in energetic form. You are tuning into that frequency, so the universe knows where to guide you. Some people worry, what if I write the wrong thing? But there are no wrong words when you write from the heart. If your desire is genuine and your energy is clean, your words will carry the truth. And truth is magnetic. Don't try to force the details. Let them flow. This is not about controlling the outcome. It's about getting emotionally connected to the life you're ready to receive. The more you write it, the more real it becomes in your mind, your body, and your spirit. And when it feels real inside, it begins to appear outside. One of the hardest parts of manifestation is waiting. You write, you visualize, you believe, but then nothing seems to happen. Doubt creeps in. Fear whispers, maybe this doesn't work. That's where most people give up. But that's also where most miracles are born, right after you decide to keep going. You must understand something deeply spiritual here. There is always a delay between your inner creation and outer manifestation. That's not a flaw. It's how the physical world works. In the invisible world, your thoughts, your energy, your writing, things move fast. But in the material world, things take time. They need space to form, like seeds growing underground, before you see the plant rise. Writing helps you hold on during that delay. It becomes your anchor. When your outer world looks the same, writing reminds you of what's coming. When nothing seems to change, your journal becomes proof that something already has. You wrote it. You believed it. That energy is now moving, even if you can't see it yet. This is why most people don't manifest what they want. They quit too early. They say, I tried, but it didn't work. But the truth is, they planted the seed, watered it once, and then walked away before it could bloom. You are not here to chase signs or doubt the delay. You are here to stay loyal to your vision, and writing keeps you loyal. Every time you sit down and write that same dream, that same identity, you are saying to the universe, I still believe. I still choose this. And that kind of faith moves mountains. You don't have to pretend the waiting doesn't hurt. You don't have to fake joy. Just stay committed. Stay connected to the feeling behind your words. Stay rooted in the truth that the moment you wrote it, something began shifting. Think of writing as a conversation with the divine. You speak, you wait, you listen, you trust, and then one day, when you least expect it, life responds, not in a whisper, but in a wave. That's the power of written alignment. It doesn't just ask for things, it prepares you to receive them. So write even when it's hard. Write especially when it feels like nothing is happening. That's when the universe is doing its deepest work. Your job is not to control the timing. Your job is to stay in alignment. And every time you pick up your pen, you are doing exactly that. Many people sit down to write, and without even realizing it, they begin pouring out everything they're afraid of. They write about their anxiety, their struggles, their disappointments, and their pain. And while being honest is important, constantly writing about fear can reinforce that energy in your life. The universe doesn't read between the lines. It responds to the content you give it. So if most of your writing is about what you don't want, guess what? You'll keep seeing more of it. This is why it's so important to shift your writing focus. Don't just use your journal to release your pain. Use it to direct your power. Instead of writing about what you fear, Write about what you love. Instead of writing about what's missing, write about what you're ready to welcome. Make your words reflect hope, trust, and abundance, not lack or worry. For example, rather than writing, "I hate being alone," write, "I am ready for a deep, loving connection." Rather than writing, "I'm tired of being broke," write, "Money flows to me in surprising and joyful ways." See the difference? One keeps you in a loop of suffering. The other moves you into alignment with blessings. This doesn't mean you can't ever write about hard times. But if you do, make sure you shift the energy by the end of your entry. Always end your writing sessions with gratitude. Even if your day was full of stress, find 3 small things to be thankful for. Gratitude lifts your vibration and makes your energy magnetic. Try writing, "I am grateful for the roof over my head. I am thankful for the breath in my lungs. I appreciate every small step I'm taking toward my dreams." The more you focus on what you want, the more you attract what matches that energy. Writing is a choice. Every word you put on the page is a seed. Don't plant seeds of fear, doubt, or pain. Plant seeds of peace, joy, and faith. Because whatever you plant today is what will grow tomorrow. Most people live their lives reacting to the world around them. They see something, they feel something, and then they respond. This cycle keeps them stuck. They look at their bank account, feel fear, and then write, "I'll never have enough." They get rejected in a relationship, feel sad, and then write, "No one ever loves me." This is the old cycle. Observe, react, repeat. But if you want to become a conscious creator of your life, you have to reverse the cycle. You don't wait for life to show you something good before you believe it. You believe it first, and then life reflects it. This is where writing becomes a powerful spiritual tool. You don't write about what you see, you write about what you choose. Start with the image you want to live. Even if your current reality looks nothing like it, write it anyway. Write from your vision, not your reflection. Declare what you believe before there's any proof. This is faith in action. This is creation at its purest. Say to yourself, "I'm no longer waiting for life to show me what's possible. I am showing life what I've already chosen." Write those words, mean them. That's how you flip the pattern. That's how you stop being a puppet of the past and start becoming the author of your future. Instead of saying, "I hope something changes," write, "Change is happening now." Instead of saying, "I'm stuck," write, "I am growing in ways I can't yet see." These small shifts in language begin to change the way you feel. And how you feel shifts how you think. And how you think shifts what you attract. Writing from your future, not your past. That's how you reverse the mirror. That's how you take back your power. As you begin writing your new life, you'll start to notice small changes around you. A kind word from a stranger, a new opportunity at work, a sudden idea that lights you up. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations, and your job is to recognize them. But here's where many people go wrong. They doubt these small signs. They say, "It's probably nothing," or they get impatient and think, "This isn't working fast enough." That kind of thinking pulls them back into old patterns. That's why you must become someone who confirms, not someone who doubts. Use your journal to write down every little shift you notice, even if it feels tiny. Write, "Today I felt more peaceful than usual." I got an unexpected compliment that matched my new self-image. I handled a challenge with grace instead of fear. These are signs. They are proof that your energy is changing and the universe is responding. And when you write them down, you strengthen that energy. You show the universe that you are paying attention. You are not writing to beg. You are writing to confirm. This is very important. You're saying, "Yes, I see that. Thank you. More of this, please." That mindset creates momentum. It makes the energy grow. And soon those small confirmations turn into big manifestations. So when you look into the mirror of life, don't search for problems. Look for proof. Proof that your vision is becoming real. Proof that your new identity is being heard. Proof that the energy you've been sending out is coming back. Confirm it. Celebrate it. Write it. You've been holding the pen all along. Maybe you just didn't realize it. But now you know. Writing is more than just putting words on paper. It's a spiritual declaration, a vibration, a mirror, and a message to the universe. Every time you sit down and write with purpose, you are shaping what comes next. You are not just dreaming, you are designing. You are not just hoping, you are choosing. The power is in your hands, not tomorrow, not someday, now. So what will you write today? What story will you begin? Who will you decide to become? The universe is listening. Your life is waiting. And the page is blank. Write with courage. Write with love. Write with faith. And let the universe turn it into reality.